Gervonta Davis, the well-known professional boxer and current WBA lightweight champion, was arrested on Friday, July 11, 2025, in South Florida following a reported domestic violence incident. The arrest took place in the early hours of that morning, sending shockwaves through the sports community. The incident has drawn significant media attention, as Davis is one of the most prominent figures in boxing, known for his aggressive fighting style and impressive career. His arrest comes at a time when his career was on a high, and fans were eagerly anticipating his next big match. The arrest was a result of accusations that Davis physically assaulted his ex-girlfriend. According to reports, he allegedly slapped her during a confrontation, with the situation escalating when he reportedly punched her in the back of the head before slapping her face. The assault left a small injury on her lip, which was described as a cut inside her mouth. This violent incident occurred in the midst of a heated argument between the two, and the accusations are serious, with the police taking immediate action based on the allegations made against Davis. The altercation between Gervonta Davis and his ex-girlfriend took place on Father's Day, adding a personal dimension to the situation that has further captivated public attention. The police report reveals a disturbing series of events. On that day, Davis had told his ex-girlfriend to remove their children from his car because he no longer intended to take them. As she leaned forward to retrieve their daughter from the back seat of the vehicle, Davis allegedly struck her. The report claims that he punched her in the back of the head, which led to the physical confrontation escalating when he slapped her across the face. The slap caused a small but noticeable injury to her lip, which was noted in the police report as a slight cut on the inside of her mouth. The nature of the attack has raised concerns about Davis's behavior and its implications on his personal life and career. Following the altercation, the victim reached out to her mother, informing her of the situation. She texted her mother, telling her that Davis was assaulting her and asking her to come outside. The victim's mother, clearly alarmed by the message, immediately left her home to check on her daughter. When she arrived, she found her daughter visibly distressed, crying, and still in the midst of an argument with Davis. The emotional toll of the incident was evident, and the victim's mother decided to capture the moment on her phone, recording part of the argument. In the video, Davis can be seen throwing a small box at his ex-girlfriend, which only further escalated the confrontation. The recording, which was later submitted as evidence, shows the tense atmosphere and the troubling behavior of Davis during the altercation. Currently, Gervonta Davis remains in jail as he awaits a bail hearing. The legal proceedings are still unfolding, and there is a great deal of uncertainty surrounding the outcome of the case. Davis's future in boxing is now in question, with the domestic violence allegations casting a shadow over his career. The scheduled rematch between Davis and fellow boxer Lamont Roach, which was set for August 16, 2025, was already uncertain due to various factors. But with Davis now arrested, it seems highly unlikely that the fight will go ahead as planned. The rematch had generated significant buzz, with fans eagerly awaiting the showdown between the two fighters. But the legal issues now take precedence over any potential fight, as Gervonta Davis faces legal challenges. The focus is shifting from his athletic achievements to the troubling allegations of violence. This arrest could have far-reaching consequences for his career, not just in the boxing ring but also in his public image. Domestic violence accusations are taken very seriously, and the legal ramifications of such an incident could result in significant personal and professional consequences for Davis. The public will be closely watching as the situation develops, with many eager to see how the legal process unfolds and whether Davis will face further charges or consequences. For now, the future of his boxing career is uncertain, with the possibility of a suspension, legal battles, or even a tarnished reputation looming over him. The situation surrounding Gervonta Davis's arrest has raised several questions about the boxer's personal life and how his actions outside the ring could affect his career. Davis has long been one of the brightest stars in boxing, with a reputation for explosive talent and knockout power. However, this incident casts a shadow over his athletic achievements, leaving many fans and analysts questioning whether his behavior off camera could be an ongoing issue. It also brings attention to the pressures that professional athletes face, not just in their sport but in their personal lives as well. The scrutiny Davis now faces highlights how difficult it can be for some athletes to navigate the expectations of being public figures, with every aspect of their life being examined and critiqued. The arrest also draws attention to the ongoing issue of domestic violence in professional sports. While athletes are often revered for their on-field performance, incidents like this remind the public that they are still human, and sometimes they are involved in situations that are harmful or damaging. Domestic violence, in particular, has been a recurring issue in sports, and many athletes have faced legal battles and public backlash for similar accusations. The case against Davis adds to the larger conversation about how sports organizations, sponsors, and the public handle such incidents and whether more needs to be done to hold athletes accountable for their actions off the field. This particular case could prompt further discussion about how sports governing bodies deal with allegations of domestic violence and whether more stringent measures should be in place. Davis's legal troubles come at a time when he was at the peak of his boxing career. The 28-year-old boxer had built a reputation as one of the most dangerous fighters in the lightweight division, with a record that boasts impressive knockouts and victories. His aggressive fighting style had earned him a dedicated following, and his matches often attracted significant attention and high-profile sponsorships. Fans were eagerly anticipating his upcoming rematch against Lamont Roach, a fight that had the potential to be one of the biggest matchups of the year. However, with his arrest now making headlines, the fight has been cast into doubt. The potential for legal proceedings to affect Davis's ability to fight at all could lead to major ramifications for his career, as it is unclear when or if he will be able to return to the ring. The domestic violence allegations have also brought to light the potential impact on Davis's endorsement deals and financial standing. Like many athletes, Davis has numerous sponsorships and partnerships with companies that pay significant sums of money for his likeness, image, and brand association. Sponsors are often quick to distance themselves from athletes involved in controversy, and Davis's arrest could lead to several of his endorsement deals being placed on hold or completely separated. This financial impact could prove to be a major blow to the boxer, especially considering the significant sums involved in sponsorships and public appearances for high-profile athletes like Davis. If sponsors decide to drop him, it could severely affect his income, at least in the short term. In the meantime, Davis will have to contend with the legal system, which could take months or even longer to resolve. During this period, his future in boxing remains uncertain, and he may be forced to focus on his legal battles rather than his athletic career. The outcome of the case could potentially affect his reputation in the sport, as well as the broader public's perception of him as a role model. Even if he is eventually acquitted or the charges are reduced, the damage to his reputation could linger for years. The boxing world is often quick to move on to the next big star, and Davis may find that his place in the spotlight is harder to secure after such a controversial incident. The incident also raises concerns about the culture surrounding professional boxing and other high-contact sports. There has often been a tendency to excuse or downplay off-field behavior from athletes, particularly those who are successful in their respective sports. Some argue that the focus should remain on their athletic performance, while others believe that athletes must be held to a higher standard due to their platform and influence on younger fans. The situation involving Gervonta Davis has reignited discussions about how much accountability athletes should bear for their personal actions. This debate could have long-term effects on how athletes are viewed by the public, and it may force sports organizations to reconsider their approach to handling accusations of domestic violence and other forms of misconduct. As the legal proceedings unfold, it will be important for the public to remain informed about the facts of the case. Speculation and misinformation can often cloud the truth, especially when high-profile figures are involved. For Davis, the coming weeks and months will be crucial as he faces the consequences of his actions. It remains to be seen whether he can repair his reputation and return to the sport that made him famous, or if this will be the defining moment of his career. What is clear, however, is that this incident will be a pivotal moment in Davis's life, with the potential to shape not just his future in boxing, but also his legacy in the public eye. The arrest of Gervonta Davis has undoubtedly cast a dark cloud over his previous